Penguin Random House Audio presents The Medusa Protocol by Rob Hart. Read for you by Amy Landon and Neill Thorne. To Todd, I learned it by watching you. We should be able to hold our suffering and look deeply into it. Hold it tenderly and learn from it. Thich Nhat Hanh. Somewhere.
The shroud is ripped free. Bright lights raking my eyes. I've been breathing through that fabric for at least a day, and it was developing an unpleasant funk. Before I can appreciate the fresh air, I'm shoved from behind. With my hands bound behind my back, I can barely twist enough to stop from breaking my face on the floor. I manage to take the brunt of the fall on my shoulder, tucking my chin up and to the side to protect my head. A rough pair of hands grab mine, and a cold blade slips between the delicate skin on the inside of my wrists, before slicing up and cutting the zip tie. I twist around and crab walk backward to create distance, thinking this might be followed by some kind of attack. Instead, my captor is standing in the doorway, still as a monolith. He's a bundle of muscles so big it's almost grotesque, wearing black tactical gear and a white, featureless mask with dark lenses over the eyes. He looks like an owl, with a steroid habit. "Who are you?" I ask. He tilts his head slightly to the side, like he doesn't understand what I'm saying, which makes me think he doesn't speak English. Not that I'm going to give up that easy. "Why am I here?" I ask. "What do you want?" He steps back and heaves a heavy steel door closed. There's a loud shunk as a locking mechanism engages. And then I'm alone. I climb to my feet, rubbing my wrists to get blood moving back into my hands, and survey the room. It's a cell. There's a stainless steel toilet sink combo in one corner. In the other, a metal cot juts from the wall, with a small foam mattress and a folded threadbare blanket. No windows, not even in the door. No shower. Perched on the sink is a travel-sized tube of toothpaste, so cheap it doesn't have a label, and a plastic cap covered in bristles that I can put over my finger. A prison toothbrush that can't be ground into a shank. There's a hotel-sized bar of soap, but no toilet paper. I'm still in the same jeans and sweater and sneakers I was wearing when I was taken, walking down Suffolk Street to the Tuesday night meeting. My guard was down. I knew there was someone behind me, but it's New York. There's always someone behind you. Serves me right for thinking you can leave the life behind. I didn't clock the danger until I heard the scrape of a shoe on pavement. Someone setting their weight to launch their body at me. I had barely registered the arms wrapping around my torso when a gleaming black van skidded to a halt at the curb. I was thrown inside and the door slammed. The hood came down and my hands were quickly and efficiently zipped behind my back. A guttural voice got close to my ear and said, "Go along to get along." Since then, not a word. How long it's been, I don't know. Based on what I could hear, shuffling, clearing of throats, there were 2 people in the back of the van with me, and 1 person up front at the wheel. We drove for more than an hour. In traffic, then on a highway. We stopped and waited, the sound of the running engine lulling me into a state of calm, until something sharp pierced the skin of my neck. Then I disappeared into a twilight space, though not so far that I missed the unmistakable push of gravity shifting things around in my stomach. We were airborne. At some point we landed, and then we drove some more. There was a noise so loud it made my skin vibrate, followed by a blast of wind whipping my clothes and then another shift in gravity. A helicopter. The cobwebs in my head were finally clearing as the man in the mask marched me through this place. But my brain was still coming back online, sputtering in stops and starts. I couldn't tell much about the ambient climate, couldn't smell anything through the sodden mask, couldn't even think straight enough to count my steps. Now that I've got my senses back, I can take better stock of my surroundings. Something about the cell says new construction. It smells like sheetrock and fresh paint. The toilet and the reflective plate bolted in the wall above it, meant to be used as a mirror, are pristine and scratch-free. Everything is metal. The floors, the walls, the ceiling. There are curious seams in the floor, circles about 3 inches in diameter, at random intervals, and long horizontal slats on the wall, like Venetian blinds. Since this wasn't any kind of proper arrest, and the guard may not speak English, this most likely is a black site prison, the kind that operates outside laws and jurisdictions. No phone call, no lawyer. I know about a handful of places like this, but there are plenty I don't know about. If this one is new, trying to guess where I am isn't even worth the effort. So I sit on the cot, exhausted, because being drugged and sleeping aren't the same thing. I do have to pee and consider using the toilet. I scan the cell one more time and find a small glass dome nestled in the corner of the ceiling, a tiny red light flashing behind the lens. I wave at the camera. "Don't suppose you're going to tell me why I'm here?" As if in response, there's a soft mechanical whir, and the slats on the wall slowly raise. Behind them is a massive white screen taking up 3 walls, which flickers to life and plays an array of swirls and patterns and colors that induce immediate feelings of dizziness and nausea. So I look down at the floor, and those circular seams rise up, small pillars, no more than a few inches high each, making it impossible to walk freely. The cot tilts a few inches down, and I nearly slip off, ensuring there'll be no way to sleep on it comfortably. Before I can fully appreciate the level of thought that went into the discomfort of this place, a Celtic fiddle blares from hidden speakers, followed by a jaunty drumbeat. Oh, God. "Come On, Eileen" by Dexy's Midnight Runners cuts through the room, bouncing off the hard surfaces, notes pelting me from every direction. I take in my surroundings, the floor and the cot, and the light show and the song and the camera through which someone is about to watch me pee, and I can't help but laugh. Maybe it's the dying gasp of the drugs in my system. Maybe it's the realization that, after the type of life I lived, this is what I deserve. Just because you've decided to stop sinning doesn't mean you didn't sin. And I have a very long list of sins. I hope to meet the person who came up with this. I can't decide if I want to shake their hand or slit their throat. It's so diabolical as to deserve some kind of recognition. The throat slitting will depend on how many times I have to listen to this song, probably. Even if that's a thing I'm not supposed to do anymore. Even if sometimes I still want to do it. In my time on this earth, I have taken a lot of lives. One day I woke up and decided I didn't want to do that anymore. Every day I've woken up since then has felt like I was making that decision for the very first time. That's the thing about being free from addiction. You're never free. If there's one thing I wish I could do in this moment, it's convey to whoever my captors are how little this setup means to me. They get an A for effort, sure. I've seen torture, been tortured. This is some top-notch work, and I expect it's not going to stop anytime soon. But I have endured far, far worse than this. And more than that, I endured those things alone. This is me in my element. I know what Mark would say right now. He would say, "You have tools. Use them. Figure out the next right action, and go from there." Then we'd order takeout and put on a movie. But Mark isn't here.
1. How can one expect a state of abundance to be everlasting? I Ching. Mark. Chinatown. 1 month later. We take our places around the statue of Dr. Sun Yat-sen in Columbus Park, everyone spreading out so we
Sample complete. Ready to continue?